So what happens when organic matter breaks down to the point where it becomes silt? Why does it become heavier? It becomes heavier than clay, and it's still lighter than sand. It's in the middle.
I would go back to particulate size.
Yeah.
So the clay platelets are a finer compound, right? Because it's not just a molecule; it's a compound. It's a cluster of like-minded material. The same with silt, and the same with the sand.
So as the organic matter breaks down and gets closer and closer to silt, does it get heavier and heavier? And is there like an in between where it's the same weight as clay?
It would have to break down more to become like a clay platelet. And again, this goes back to what we started the conversation with, was that plow pan or hard pan layer, where it captures all of these fines that have been breaking down in the soil, because the fines always migrate. Like we were talking about last time, where the farmer plows his field and every year he gets more and more boulders and he builds a stone wall with them. So it's this weird intuition or weird dichotomy that doesn't make, it's not common sense that rocks would float to the surface and that fines would migrate, right? It happens. Perhaps it's because of the disturbance that brings the rocks up as the fines flow down and create less space for them. But this is like getting into quantum mechanics.
And okay, so I'm still with Brady and Wells here. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm still okay. Like if we take glacial rock, right, and then we grind it a little bit, now we've got glacial rock sand.
Yep.
Perhaps then we grind it more. I would argue now we've got silt.
But have you ever seen black rock other than
no? No, other than like volcanic or black basalt, right? But that's what I'm wondering if then, because we can't often separate. If you got really fine silt and it's got both positive and negative attraction, it's going to attract a lot more organic matter. So it's going to bind onto a lot of organic matter. And that might be one of the reasons why you start seeing the anaerobic. And then if that dust gets even ground further, then yeah, maybe, because I can picture quartz being sand, I can picture quartz being silt, and then I can picture quartz being clay. Right, as you grind it further and further to a micron size, right, or whatever. No.
All right. So if that were the fact, why are clay platelets look like little flying saucers? Why are they not round?
As you mean because of the grinding? Why do they break in that structure? Well,
why do they end up in that structure, and why are they negatively charged around the perimeter and positively charged in the center of the little?
And if we were to break down much of our clay, is it not really just aluminum silica oxide?
You had to bring aluminum into this conversation?
I'm turning to Tom too, because he went out and harvested a lot of his own sand, silt, and clay. So
all right. So again, none of these particulates are always going to be exactly the same content, right? Because it depends on where they were created by geological forces. But again, that being said, silt is a negative charge. Clay platelets have positive and negative charges.
Oh yeah.
So, and that's where it gets complicated. That's what started my whole down the rabbit hole on soil science of like, why are they separating by particulate size and not by specific gravity or magnetic potential?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to and I don't know the actual machine that does that, but when you test paramagnetism,
Yep.
and what's the units that it's often measured in?
Ohm resistance, I believe. Ohms.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to test sand, silt, and clay.
So who does paramagnetic? I mean, I know guys that have come across paramagnetic ground up rock, but I don't know where they tested it.
Yeah, no, I'd have to learn because we have a mine in north of where Tom lives, up in Bathurst, New Brunswick. That it's a company called Plaso, and they've got a really nice basalt rock dust, which to me is what I would have called silt. It's so finely ground, but and it'll often it will settle. It'll start out as a colloid, but over time it does settle, and you can see that it is.
We would call that like a rock flour.
Yeah, it's a rock flour. Yeah.
So, Av, do you think if you took straight sand, straight clay, and you mixed in basalt rock dust, you would see it settle in between if you put it in a mason jar and shook it?
Yeah, with a little drop of soap.
There goes the soap. I've had guys try both ways, and they swear the soap really has no effect one way or another. But hey, teach their own. It's not like you can't try new things and different things.
Yeah, that's now I haven't actually tried that, but that's what my assumption would be, is that it would be because I have seen the rock salt or the basalt rock dust settle out of suspension. So it doesn't keep my water cloudy.
What color is it when it settles out?
It's white or greenish white.
Greenish white. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not like a black basalt.
But it was basalt that they used to grind.
It was yeah.